People continue to make their way over here to this makeshift memorial outside of the Cielo Vista Walmart. The Iranian military shot down a Boeing 737 airliner this week, killing all 176 people on board. The El Paso Health Department tells KFOX 14 the patient was a man in his 70s who had underlying health conditions. Now we continue our team coverage this morning with Alyssa Bethencourt. She is live to tell us how El Pasoans living near the area feel about coming back to shop. Alyssa? Meteorologist Brad Montgomery starts us off with a look at our weather, and you're telling us Friday ain't going to be a Friday.
Yeah, not weather-wise.
Here outside of the University Medical Center, where 13 of the 26 people injured were brought. June is National Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, and the El Paso Animal Services has hundreds of cats you can choose from. City Rep Sam Morgan appeared for his first council meeting since being arrested for domestic violence. This store has been the center of an investigation and a place of mourning.
El Paso police are now investigating an overnight stabbing in the Cincinnati Entertainment District.
Investigators say one person has died. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Holly Bach is live on the scene in West El Paso to tell us what we know so far. Holly?
Got a hot forecast.
Oh, John, I thought you were going to say something.
Live from the KFOX 14 studios, this is the KFOX 14 Morning News.
Saying their final goodbyes. Services will be held for a 7-year-old girl hit by a car walking to school. How family and friends are remembering the life taken too soon. Plus, a hotel collapses in New Orleans, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. How authorities are now working to find a missing person among the rubble. Good morning to you. It is 4:59. Those stories after weather and traffic updates. John Purvis is off this morning and Jessica Gonzalez is out in the field. So Brad is pulling double duty with weather and traffic. And how's it looking out there so far? This morning, family and friends will say their final goodbye to 7-year-old Alexa Barrera. She was hit and killed while walking in a crosswalk near her Upper Valley Elementary School. KFOX 14 Morning News reporter Jessica Gonzalez is live in West El Paso to tell us more about her funeral services. Jess? An officer-involved shooting remains under investigation this morning. El Paso police say it all started as an armed robbery at a 7-Eleven in central El Paso. It happened at about 11 o'clock Saturday night. Police say two 17-year-old suspects tried to rob the convenience store. When officers arrived, one of them ran away, going through a neighborhood behind the store. Officers say the chase ended when an officer fired his weapon, hitting the suspect in someone's backyard. KFOX 14 spoke with a family who lives in that home.
I was asleep. I was watching TV and I fell asleep when I heard the gunshots. And I thought it was her because she sleeps in the back room, and I thought she was making noises. She was crawling, and that's when I looked outside at the back of the house, and the police officers had a person on the floor.
The suspect who was shot is in the hospital with serious injuries, while the second suspect remains in police custody. Police say they believe the two could be linked to another robbery that happened on Friday. El Paso police are asking for your help as they continue to look for the person who critically injured a 15-year-old girl in a shooting. It happened last month near George Dieter and Pebble Hills. Police say the teenager was with two other people at the intersection when the suspect drove up. They say the two groups exchanged words and then the suspect shot at the car as it was leaving. Police say the suspect was driving a newer model truck or SUV. If you have any information on this case, you're urged to call Paso Crime Stoppers. That phone number there is on your screen. The search for two missing Las Cruces children has ended. 3-year-old Aviana Maines and her 7-year-old brother Jaden were reported missing yesterday morning. Authorities called the search off at about 9 o'clock last night. Police say the siblings are in good condition. There's a road closure today as crew members get ready to demolish parts of the Juarez ramp. Alameda Avenue at the US 54 will be closed from 9 o'clock tonight until 5 tomorrow morning. Ramp F, which connects I-10 to Juarez, will be demolished. Alameda will only be open to local traffic except for the area around US 54. Work will continue overnight through Thursday. In Southern California, the Sandalwood fire has claimed 2 lives. Authorities say one of the victims, 89-year-old Lois Arvikinson, was found in a burned mobile home. The other victim has not been identified at this time. The blaze started Thursday afternoon as a trash fire, then quickly spread, burning 800 acres. Officials in New Orleans say safety remains a top priority after a hotel under construction partially collapsed. Fire officials say the top 6 to 8 floors of the building collapsed Saturday morning. More than 30 people were injured. Officials are now looking for anyone who may still be alive under the rubble. This is video of the big cloud of debris. A bystander took this video on their phone. Officials say so far 2 people have died because of the collapse, adding a 3rd victim remains under the rubble. The rescue team faces some challenges since the structural integrity of the building is still unstable. They're now using a crane as extra support.
It's not safe right now. It is not stable. The area is unstable.
Our original estimate on getting a crane here of that size was 2 weeks. We got it here in less than 24 hours.
112 people were working inside of the hotel when it collapsed. In their last update, authorities say 1 person is still hospitalized while the rest have been discharged. A wedding dream takes a horrific turn. What police say led a man to open fire during a wedding ceremony and how the bride and groom are doing now. Plus, going the wrong way, how a car plows its way through a road closure. We'll show you the video of the dangerous ride. Brad?
The job you probably didn't even know existed. Teenagers working to expose unscrupulous alcohol retailers.
KFOX 14 Morning News anchor Gloria DeLeon went undercover with the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission to see who's following the law and who gets caught red-handed in tonight's special assignment.
Alcohol purchase was Bud Light, 12 ounce.
Going undercover.
I just tell myself, if these people do wrong, that's on them.
For the greater good.
We're trying to make sure they're doing the right thing.
The Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission says it organizes underage compliance operations simply to ensure folks are following the law.
And the whole idea is to identify maybe deficiencies in our education, or identify deficiencies that someone that owns a licensed premise may be doing.
KFOX 14 is keeping the identities of the minor and TABC field officers hidden to not compromise any future operations. This spring break, TABC checked in on 11 locations in the borderland, all located along I-10. But before any operation starts, the agency hires a minor first.
We want them to look young. The gold standard is when they wear a high school t-shirt on a sting.
Major Paul Parent with TABC's Enforcement Division says teens can start participating as soon as they have a Texas-issued ID.
If they're asked to present that ID, they present that valid ID.
My first few times it was a little nerve-wracking, but I just hope and pray for the best.
The operation team consists of the minor, undercover, and uniformed officers. Before they go out, the teen is briefed.
If they ask if your age, be truthful.
The minor is told to be upfront and honest about their age and to not push anyone into selling them alcohol.
We're not out there to deceive anybody. It's strictly, as the name implies, an underage compliance check of the location.
The minor is given money to use and the team heads out.
It'll be safe.
Parent says this particular operation is targeting restaurants and convenience stores.
We're along routes where you may have spring break traffic.
He says locations are chosen based on their violation history and how long it's been since they were last checked. Parent tells KFOX 14 that those locations are also given a heads up.
So they've just recently been educated before we even went out there.
The minor will go in with 2 undercover officers, grab beer that's easily identifiable, and head to the register.
The first few times I was like, oh my God, are they gonna call the cops on me or something? I just go up to the counter and then they ask me, is that gonna be all for you? And then yes, that's gonna be all for me. Then they ask me for my ID and I give them my ID, and
it's all up to the employee.
And if they sell it, they sell it. If they don't, they don't.
Some will ask,
Can I see your ID? Absolutely.
You're not 21, I can't sell to you.
While others don't.
And it's no secret that we do these. Everybody knows it. It's not something that's kept secret as.
Out of the 11 locations, only 1 failed the test. Parent says Tacos Chinampa in East El Paso sold alcohol to the 17-year-old undercover minor. They received an administrative notice and the employee responsible is slapped with a Class A misdemeanor, meaning they could pay a fine of up to $4,000 or spend up to a year in jail. But he says overall, businesses in El Paso are following the law. In fact, businesses that don't allow for on-premise consumption have a 90% compliance rate, while on-premise businesses have an 85% compliance rate.
To ensure that basically our education programs are working, it's all geared towards public safety.
Gloria DeLeon, KFOX 14 News at 9.
Tacos Chinampa could either admit guilt and settle the case with the TABC, or the owner can request a hearing before a judge. KFOX 14 tried contacting the owner And Gloria tells us we have not heard back.